So this Ayurveda is treated as a traditional knowledge because this is later documented. First of all, this knowledge is transmitted according to Indian mythology. It is transmitted from Brahma to up to up to this Maharshis Susruta and Atreya. Later, that Dhanvantari is considered as the father of Ayurveda and also is considered as doctor of goddesses and gods. దేవతల యొక్క వైద్యునిగా పేర్కొంటాం. So this Ayurveda has two major books. Again, each major book has three publications. Those are known as Brihat Trayi and Laghut Trayi. Again, Bohat Trayi, there are three granthas or large books which are the treasure of knowledge of Ayurveda. And the second one is Lagutrayi. In Lagutrayi, you can also see again, Trayi means it is a volume of three volumes, and we have all seen up to here, up to Brahatrayi and Lagutrayi. Then today we are going to learn about what are the aims and objectives of Ayurveda. Any system of medicine, mainly what is their aim? To cure or to combat the disease. But here the Ayurveda is, as I rightly told you yesterday, Ayurveda meaning itself, this is Ayurveda. The term is extracted from Sanskrit. Ayurveda. Ayur means life or period of life, a style, lifestyles. Veda means knowledge or science. So this Ayurveda, the ultimate aim and objective of Ayurveda is to improve the lifestyles and improve the lifespan or life period of the human being by following various ways and means. So what are the ways and means? It gives major emphasis to improve the lifespan and to lead the better lifestyles in the life. So this is the main aim of the Ayurveda. Chiefly it has two aims. The first one is, it has two aims. The first one is to protect the health, of the individuals. This is the first aim, to protect the health of the individual. First of all, they protect the health of the individual without giving any treatment for curation. So this is nothing but prevention. Prevention is the major aim or first aim of Ayurveda system of medicine. And the second one is, they keep the individuals from the disease causal organisms or disease causal agents. This is also the prevention. But curation is not the ultimate aim of this system of medicine. You can see both of the aims, that is first aim and second aim, consists of one kind of ways. The first one is, they protect from the if protect the individuals from the lifestyles, higher lifestyles. And the second one is, they keep away, the individuals can keep away from the disease caused organisms or disease causal agents. So this is also prevention. So these two are said to be the aims of Ayurveda. The first aim can be satisfied, or first aim can be achieved by means of, by using some rasayanas means chemical compounds some chemical compounds, with the combination of other plant derivatives. And the second one is the second aim can be achieved through 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 some upasamana upasamana activities as well as shuddhikarana activities. So upasarana activities and shuddhikarana purification activities, these are two activities which can be achieved from the second type of aim. Second type of aim. Anyhow, the main aim of Ayurveda is to protect the human beings from disease free, and also to keep away from the diseases, and ultimately to lead the better life and to improve the lifespan of individual. This is the main aim of this Ayurveda. Then we can see the branches of Ayurveda. In Ayurveda, how many kinds of branches? For example, you can see in modern system of medicine like allopathy, what we are used now, allopathy, there are so many branches. What are the branches? As you know, some ophthalmology, orthopedics, gynecology, so on, neurology, psychiatry, ENT, skin. You can see so many branches in modern medicine or allopathy system of medicine. Likewise, in Ayurveda also there are some branches. What are these branches? According to Dhanvantari, what is the period of Dhanvantari? What is the period of Dhanvantari? Yesterday it came. The period of Dhanvantari, 1000 BC. 1000 BC. Yesterday వచ్చిన వాళ్ళు ఈ వాళ్ళు ఉండరు, ఈ వాళ్ళు ఉన్న వాళ్ళు yesterday ఉండరు. నిన్న అతను ఎవరు ఆదిత్య తుషార్ నిన్న రాలేదు. అకార్డింగ్ టు ధన్వంతరి ధన్వంతరి బిలాంగ్స్ టు ద పీరియడ్ ఆఫ్ 1000 BC, 1000 BC. Most of the branches are mainly 8 branches are there in Ayurveda, but these 8 branches are belonging to individual treatment. So according to Dhanvantari, there are 8 branches in Ayurveda which are useful to individual treatment. This is the statement. Then what are these branches? The first branch is Kaya Chikitsa hyphen systemic treatment. As I told you yesterday, what is meant by Kaya Chikitsa? You have to write Kaya Chikitsa, Kayachhi, K-Tchya, Chikitsa, like so on. The first one is Kaya Chikitsa, and you have to put an hyphen and you write systemic treatment. Yesterday you have introduced with systemic and external. External means, for example, some ointment, some powders. What we use externally, that is external treatment. If you take intake orally into stomach, if you take a drug, a tablet in the form of tablet orally, a tonic orally, so those are known as systemic. So the first branch of Ayurveda is Kaya Chikitsa hyphen systemic treatment. Kaya Chikitsa means what is meant by Kayamu? Kaya Chikitsa means treatment. Kaya Chikitsa means Kayamu ante enti? Yesterday we body treatment. Kaya Chikitsa means body treatment. And the second one, Bala Chikitsa or Kaumara Chikitsa, that is in brackets you have to write it as pediatrics. So up to little children to Kaumara stage. Kaumara means adolescence. For example, up to 16 and 17, you have also crossed the adolescence. Up to 17 years only, we call it as adolescence by the time of intermediate, up to 17 years. So this Kai Chikitsa Second one, Bala Sikitsa, including Kaumar Sikitsa, both comes under pediatrics. So in modern system of medicine, you can see the pediatrics. In modern system of medicine, you can see the pediatrics. In modern system of medicine, pediatrics is always confined to children treatment. So the person who studies pediatrics are called as children specialist because of he treat only children. He treats only children. The person or the physician who studied the pediatrics. So the pediatrics is about the treatment of both children and adolescents. That is the second branch of Ayurveda. And the third one is Graha Sikitsa, within the brackets, psychiatry. Graha Sikitsa means Manasika Sikitsa. Graha Sikitsa is associated with, or Graha Sikitsa is indicates or related to Graha Sikitsa, Graha. Graha Sikitsa is related to psychiatrics. Psychiatrics, you know, the mental disorders, some mental and some humanities disorders. So these are comes under psychiatrics. Psychiatrics, what is the spelling? What is spelling? PSYCHO. PSYCHI. ATRIC, psychiatrics. So the fourth one is Selya Sikitsa. Yesterday, this Selya has came many more times. What is meant by Selya Sikitsa? What is meant by Selya Sikitsa? Yesterday, about Sushrita. Good. Selya Sikitsa means surgery. Who told this? Who answered this? I did not see to screen. I am not looking at screen. Huh? Selya. Selya means surgery. Who told this? Okay, okay. Yesterday Murali joined? Yes, joined. So the Selya means because the Selya who is the father of Selya? Susruta. Susruta Samhiti is entirely related to only surgeries. Only surgeries. Yesterday it came. So the fourth branch of Ayurveda is Selya. Within the brackets, you can write it as surgery. And fifth one, Urdhvanga Sikitsa. Urdhva Anga. Urdhva means upper, Anga means part or organs, upper organs. Urdhvanga Sikitsa, upper organs Sikitsa. Within the brackets, you have to write it as ENT, ear, nose, throat. Now, in modern medicine, also, in modern medicine, also you can see the ENT specialists, MSENT specialists. There is a special course after MBBS, MSENT, ear, nose, throat, Urdhvanga Sikitsa. And the sixth one is Aghada Tantri, Aghada Tantri, Aghada, AGADA, Tantri, THANTHRI, Tantri. Aghada Tantri is nothing but the study or the knowledge about the poisonous substances. That is within the brackets, you can write it as toxicology. Toxicology. The sixth branch of Ayurveda is toxicology. Toxicology. It reveals about toxicology. And the seventh one, toxin, you know what are toxins? The poisonous substances which are harmful to our body and health. So they are all comes under toxins. The study about toxins is toxicology. The seventh one is Rasayana Tantri. Rasayana Tantri. That is Rasayana Tantri. Within the brackets, you can write it as geriatrics. Geriatrics. Spelling GERIOTRICS. CS, geriatrics. Geriatrics. So the geriatrics is nothing but in our allopathy, that is in modern medicine, or also medical gerontology is a branch, is there. Medical gerontology, 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 medical gerontology. But in Ayurveda, it is with the name of geriatrics. Geriatrics. So geriatrics or medical gerontology deals with deals with the treatment of old age persons or elderly persons. So the problems which are encountered with old age persons or elderly persons, they will treat. They comes under this branch of science. They comes under this branch of science because some elderly people that is more than 60 years up to 80 years, they face some other problems. They some kind of problems. So they will treat, or this the science or the knowledge which explains all the problems and the methods of curation and the methods of treatment for all these problems in in old age persons and elderly persons. This comes under gerontology, medical gerontology, or geriatrics. So the eighth one is Vajakarna Tantri, Vajakarna Tantri, Naravamsha Suddhi, Naravamsha Suddhi, Vajakarna Tantri, hyphen, Vaja, VAJA, KARNA, Vajakarna Tantri, hyphen, Naravamsha Suddhi, Naravamsha Suddhi. So I will give you clue within the brackets. You can write it as eugenics. Eugenics. EUGENECS. Eugenics. EUGENICS. What is meant by eugenics? Eugenics. Did you heard this word eugenics? Eugenics. One of you should. One of you should respond. Eugenics. Anyone? No one? Eugenics. Eugenics. That is the science of the modern science which is useful to development of the human being genetically. So this is the branch of genetics actually. For example, test tube babies, or now we can see IVF. IVF. Can you expand this IVF? IVF, good. In vitro fertilization. In our Srikakulam town also, that Dr. Daneti Sridhar is the pioneer in our Srikakulam for this IVF. With that IVF only, he became 800 Karodpati. He became a Karodpati. So the IVF is nothing but eugenics. The other systems which are development of human beings with the help of genetics and other practices are comes under eugenics. Eugenics is అంటే ఈ పేరు చూడండి నారావంశ శుద్ధి. So you can improve the human beings with the help of modern technologies. With the help of modern technologies. These are eight branches of Ayurveda according to Dhanvantari. Who is Dhanvantari? Dhanvantari is the doctor of angels. Doctor of angels. I, doctor of, he is the father of Ayurveda, okay, but he is the daughter of Devatala యొక్క వైద్యుడు. Angels, God and goddesses. దేవతలకి వైద్యుడు అనమాట ఈయన. Then The next one is, what are the main principles of Ayurveda? You can put a side heading as principles of Ayurveda. So there are so many principles, so many principles. The according, as you know, this Ayurveda is always useful to improve our lifespan. So this is according to Charaka. Yesterday I gave some definition also. According to Charaka has defined. What is the Charaka's definition? The happiness in life, and the troublesome in life, and the results of both. This is nothing but Ayurveda. That is the definition. మనం హ్యాపీగా ఉండాలన్నా, ట్రబుల్స్తో ఉండాలన్నా ఆయుర్వేదంతో మనకి సంబంధం ఉంటుంది. సో దిస్ ఆయుర్వేద కెన్ కీప్ యూ హ్యాపీలీ, ఆర్ ఆయుర్వేద కెన్ కీప్ యూ with troubles or sourness, or you will enjoy the results of both with the help of Ayurveda system of medicine. So this Ayurveda system of medicine chiefly has so many principles. The first kind of principle is Panchabhota, principle of Panchabhota. You know what are Panchabhota? Principle of Panchabhota. So the entire matter, or the entire components, that is biotic and abiotic. You see, the biotic component, including human beings in the universe, the entire components in the universe, that is biotic and abiotic components, and all the matter and energy, and all biotic and abiotic components are nothing but they are the made up of it, or they are the chief components of Panchabhutas, or they are made with Panchabhutas. If you take one human being, you are made up of with Panchabhutas. Within your body, this is nothing but your body is an integration of Panchabhutas. That is the main principle of this Ayurveda. The every component, it may be a biotic component or abiotic component, every matter in the universe is made up of with five kinds of elements. Five kinds of elements. These five kinds of elements are known as Panchabhutas. What are these elements or bhutas? The first one is Apa, water. Originally what are Panchabhutas, but the terms which are used in Ayurveda, you have to know. The first one is Apa, water. The second one is Prudvi. Prudvi means earth. Teja, Teja means fire, Nippu, fire. Vayu means air and gases, and Akash means the space. Akash means the space. These are the five Panchabhutas. భూమి, నీరు, గాలి, ఆకాశము, అగ్ని, వీటన్నిటిని కలిపి పంచభూతాలు అంటామని మీకు తెలుసు. బట్ దీస్ ఆర్ ద టర్మ్స్ విచ్ యూజ్డ్ ఇన్ ఆయుర్వేద ఈస్, యూ కెన్ సీ పృథ్వీ మీన్స్ ఎర్త్, భూమి. ది సెకండ్ వన్ అపా, నీరు, వాటర్. ది థర్డ్ వన్ తేజ, నిప్పు, ఫైర్. ఫోర్త్ వన్ వాయు, ఎయిర్ ఆర్ గ్యాస్. And the fifth one, Akash, means space. So these are the five Panchabhutas. So these Panchabhuta are originated from the Brahma into universe. Where when the Panchabhutas are made up of within the universe, these Panchabhutas came from the Brahmadeva into universe. So the three gunas of the nature nature, they give stimulation. they give stimulation to the all these panchabhutas. Are you able to catch my point? There are three gunas that has the nature. The nature has three gunas. Nature has three gunas. So, with the help of these three gunas of the nature, these panchabhutas will be excited or stimulated. What are these three gunas of the nature? Three gunas of the nature: sattva, rajas, tamas. మీరు ఇవి వినే ఉంటారు. సత్వ రజ తామస గుణాలు. సత్వగుణ, సత్వగుణ, rajas guna, and tamas guna. In human, it is all applied to our human body. So the first one, I will repeat this point. The first principle. The first principle is related to panchabhutas. Panchabhutas means the entire universe is made up of with five elements. The components which are present in the universe are made up of the five elements. Those are Prudvi, Apa, Teja, Vayu, and Akas. Again, these Panchabhutas are stimulates, or they got the excitement from the nature. Nature has its own. Nature has three gunas or three features, three characters. But in Ayurveda, they use as guna, three guna. What are these three guna? Sattva, Raja, Tamasa. So when these three gunas are exerting on the other, these five panchabhutas are controlled by these three gunas. These panchabhutas are controlled by these three gunas. It is applied to your own individual body also. Your body is made up of with panchabhutas, means five elements. These five elements are in the control of sattva, raja, tamas. You can see సత్వగుణం కలిగిన వాడి ఆరోగ్యము ఒక విధంగా ఉంటుంది. రాజస గుణం కలిగిన వాడి ఆరోగ్యం ఒక విధంగా ఉంటుంది. తామస గుణం కలిగిన వాడి ఆరోగ్యం ఒక విధంగా ఉంటుంది. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద మెయిన్ ప్రిన్సిపల్ ఆఫ్ ది ఆయుర్వేద. If you go to doctor for the treatment of any ailment, he will ask all the questions. What is your food habits? What is your feelings? How much time you take sleep? How many times you take food? What kind of food you likes? What kind of food you dislikes? What kind of words, what kind of sentences, what kind of words you like, and what kind of sentences and what kind of words you don't like? What kind of stories, dramas, cinemas you like? What kind of drama stories you dislike? What colors you like? What colors you dislike? What flowers you like? What flowers you dislike? What fruits you like? What fruits you dislike? This kind of questions they will ask first. Basing on this, they will estimate or they will assess your body nature. They will assess your body nature. Then they will go for other tests. Also, they conduct some tests before going to treatment as a part of diagnosis. In diagnosis part, they will also conduct some tests. Before conducting tests, they will ask some questions to know the guna of your body guna, whether your body guna is belong to sattva guna or rajasa guna or tamasa guna. By asking some questions, they assess your body guna. Then they will go for some other test and then they will go for treatment ultimately. So this is the main principle. What is the main principle? The first principle, I would like to say the three principles of the Ayurveda. The first principle is Panchabhotas principle. And the second principle, you can write it as Tridosha principle, principle of Tridosha. You can write it as principle of Tridosha or Tridosha principle. Nothing wrong. Both are gives the same meaning. What are these Tridosha? So these Tridosha means actually these are the foundation for Ayurveda system of medicine. These three doshas. You must know about these three doshas. What are these three doshas? These are the foundations actually. So entire their treatment is depends on this three doshas only. Entire their treatment depends on their these three doshas only. What is these three doshas? So these three doshas are all the activities are controlled by all the biochemical reactions in our body, all the pathogens which are causes to disease are controlled by these three doshas. All the symptoms which are expressed by the body, disease symptoms, are also controlled by three doshas. All the three doshas are what are these three doshas are pitta, vata, kapha, or vata, pitta, kapha. So that is